films, the only thing you can possibly say, the right thing, sounds a bit cold and heartless, but the right thing to say is the Queen is dead, God save the King. And indeed, I did say that, because it is the right thing to do. And David Starkey has been saying, well, of course, you know, immediately Charles takes over. The moment she dies, he takes over. So what are we going through tomorrow? Explain why tomorrow matters.
Yeah, so in a way you're right. So the most important legal aspect of this has already happened. The Act of Settlement basically treats the new sovereign almost immediately as King Charles III, as you say. So saying, long live the king, is correct. Now, a lot of what we're about to see has been written down for a long, long time, probably about 35 years. It's Operation London Bridge, which is fairly well known now. A lot of it is about protocol, but there will be some legal aspects to this too. So tomorrow, as your correspondent Mark just said, there will be the Accession Council held at St James's Palace.
Which is?
So the Accession Council is a gathering of the Privy Councillors. So the great members of state, the ministers, the Archbishop of Canterbury. There'll be senior members of the royal family who are councillors of state and privy councillors in their own right. There'll also be other people too, which I'll come on to in a moment. It's presided over by the Lord President of the Council. Now, we've had a reshuffle this week. That's a new person, Penny Mordaunt, who will be undertaking this, and it's the first time in history it's been televised, so it's a big moment for her as well. Now, what does it do? There are two parts to it. The first is the proclamation, which will be an instrument that will declare the title of the new sovereign. So let's not forget, it's not just about him being king of this country, he's also the king of other realms and territories. He's also defender of the faith, which is why the Archbishop of Canterbury is there, and head of the Commonwealth, which is not a constitutional role, but it's part of the royal title. So that will be recognised. The second part of it will be him swearing an oath in person with that gathering and then signing an instrument of state. And then this is where the protocol is brought into action, really, when the heralds will go on to the balcony at St James's Palace and read out to Friary Court the titles of the new sovereign and announcing the demise of the previous.
So really what happens tomorrow is the official confirmation of what has actually happened, in fact.
It is. There is one legal aspect to it, which is part of the Act of Union, which is to do with the Scottish Church. So it's not a major aspect of it, but it is a legal one. And then there's a second element to this, which is that in the room will be the realm high commissioners, so effectively the ambassadors of the countries who recognise the monarch as their head of state as well. And the reason that they're in the room is because they are acknowledging on behalf of their nations that they recognise Charles now as their king, and then there will be proclamations in those realms. So that's the morning. Into the afternoon, probably about 12 o'clock, there will be a proclamation in the City of London. There will be one in Windsor, there'll be one in Edinburgh, and the proclamation that I just mentioned at St James's Palace. So there will be some of the stuff that we know Britain does so well. There'll be the horses and the heralds and all the rest of it. But it will be a solemn event.